Imagine that visceral, heart-racing tension of being publicly insulted, right? Like maybe a coworker blatantly takes credit for your project in a meeting, or someone spreads a really toxic lie about you online. Your heart just starts pounding, your palms get sweaty, and you feel that immediate, intense biological urge demanding that you strike back. Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to unpack the incredible power of silence over revenge.
Your mind immediately goes to work, doesn't it? It starts generating these intrusive, rapid-fire thoughts that just echo in an angry brain. It literally demands an immediate reaction, whispering to you over and over, say something, come on, say something.
And then those whispers, they get louder. Get revenge. The mind pushes you incredibly hard to make that other person deeply, deeply regret their actions. It feels completely overwhelming in the moment, like an absolute biological mandate to fight back.
Let's dive into Section 1, the instinct for revenge.
So, here's a wild fact. When someone hurts you emotionally, your brain processes that injury almost identically to a physical wound. It's actually why studies show that pain relievers, literally Tylenol, can physically dull emotional heartache. Crazy, right? Your mind searches for justice with the exact same urgency as if you had just touched a hot stove. The underlying logic driving you is simply, well, if they hurt me, I should hurt them back.
But this urge builds dangerously over time. For a few seconds, revenge feels incredibly satisfying. I mean, firing off that angry reply gives you a massive, immediate rush. But psychology actually shows us that this temporary thrill evaporates surprisingly fast. Within minutes, that satisfaction is just completely gone, leaving only lingering anger and stress. And if you let it carry out over years, the thrill disappears entirely, but the permanent damage of your retaliation, that can literally ruin lives.
Moving on to Section 2, the Neuroscience of Anger.
Okay, so what's happening inside your head? During an emotional takeover, your brain is essentially hijacked. It's what's called an amygdala hijack. The emotional center completely overpowers your logic, leading to a severe drop in rational intelligence. So instead of asking the logical question, what's the smartest thing to do right now, your brain shifts entirely into survival mode and frantically starts asking, how do I win?
And when you stop asking what's smart and start demanding to win, the real-world costs are devastating. Just 5 minutes, literally 5 minutes of unchecked primal emotion, like sending an impulsive, rage-filled text or screaming at a colleague, can lead to destroyed friendships, ended relationships, abruptly quitting a job, or compromising years of your future. You're basically making decisions that permanently alter your life based on a fleeting chemical reaction in your brain.
Which brings us to Section 3. Breaking the conflict cycle. Think about the basic architecture of almost every fight you've ever been in. Step 1, an insult is thrown. Step 2, a reaction is given. Step 3, endless escalation, right? One passive-aggressive email creates another, one scream creates another. Most conflicts survive solely because both parties just continue to react. They are continuously feeding the fire.
So, to break this cycle, you absolutely must remove the reinforcement. In behavioral psychology, this simply means withholding your attention and your reaction. Without your attention, the conflict slowly loses its energy. Think of it practically. A fire without fuel simply dies out. By choosing silence, you are literally starving the conflict of the exact fuel it desperately needs to survive.
Let's look at Section 4, the psychological weight of silence. I want you to put yourself in the shoes of the aggressor for a second. Most people naturally expect a reaction when they provoke someone. So when they don't get one, something very unusual happens in their brain. Their mind starts racing with paranoia. They begin obsessively asking themselves, wait, why didn't they reply? And then the questions really start compounding. Did I go too far? Do they just not care anymore? Think about the agonizing uncertainty of sending a risky text message and being left unread. We've all been there. Humans naturally hate uncertainty. It is deeply unsettling to us. Because of this, meeting an aggressor with absolute silence actually creates far more psychological discomfort and agonizing uncertainty for them than arguing ever could. You are letting their own racing mind do all the punishing for you.
Finally, Section 5. The Stoic Art of Mastery. If you think about the calmest, most grounded person you know, you'll probably notice they never argue over everything. They just don't feel the need to win every conversation. Now, a lot of people confuse this silence with weakness. But there is a massive distinction here. Fear stays silent because it feels powerless and incapable of fighting back. Wisdom, on the other hand, stays silent because it sees absolutely no value in fighting. Knowing that you have the ability to respond, but consciously choosing not to, is actually one of the highest possible forms of self-control.
Emotionally intelligent people truly understand the heavy hidden price of every argument. As the quote goes, winning the argument means losing your peace. Real confidence doesn't need constant proof. True emotional intelligence values your inner tranquility far more than being right in the eyes of an aggressor. Real confidence stays quiet because it just doesn't require constant external validation.
So the next time someone tries to provoke you, I want you to use this question as a powerful internal filter. Do they deserve my attention, or are they simply asking for it? Because every single reaction you give is a withdrawal of your own energy. Every argument costs you precious time, and every moment you spend trying to prove yourself to a critic is a moment stolen from building your own life.
The big takeaway from this explainer is that real power isn't about getting the last word. It's about absolute sovereignty over your own mind and your own reactions. It is making the conscious, deliberate decision that not every battle deserves your voice.
I'll leave you with this final, truly provocative thought. Silence is not an absence of strength. It is the loudest possible proof of absolute mastery. The strongest response isn't revenge, it's becoming so peaceful that revenge no longer feels necessary. When you reach a point where you are so grounded that you don't even feel the urge to strike back, that is when you know you have truly won.